Good evening, ladies. So good to see you. Smile, sit back, take a deep breath, and say, I'm loved. I just want to let you know there are a lot of internationals as well here, and we have my friend Irina from Ukraine on the back. Irina, can you wave? There we go. She's Ukrainian. And then my mom is here. She made dinner for tonight for all of us. So after we're done, you stay around if you can. If you don't have any other home obligations, you can stay around and have a wonderful dinner. My mom, can you wave? There you go. I feel like at home. You guys are so amazing. A couple things I want to quote here that inspires me. Who loves reading poetry, books, Bible scriptures that inspires you? And yeah, I like to. And yesterday I was reading quote from Luke 8:48. Have faith, my daughter. Don't be afraid. Your faith has made you whole. Go in peace. And I love that. And another quote I want to share, Ruth Bell Graham. We know Billy Graham. She said, one event at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 step at a time. That's how we change the world. And on a personal note, I always had a battle with beauty and confidence. Whoever had a battle with that, whoever struggled with confidence. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not alone in this room. And I always had these two extremes, whether I'm too much or not enough. You know, I always struggled. Am I too much? Because you know me, I'm very expressive. I love to have people together and do events, and I do one thing after another, and I never stop. And people's like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of you. You have so much going on. On the other hand, sometimes I feel like I'm not enough. And I feel like Catrina tonight, her voice will be instrumental for us to find this balance in confident beauty and be anchored in this truth that we are. Can you say, I am confident beauty? And that's the truth. And this is our anchor tonight. And Catrina will share, and her book actually helped me to understand my unique beauty style. She will talk about it. And she is incredible in visualizing. I'm a visual learner. Who's a visual learner in this room? She explains to you with flowers. We all love flowers. Who doesn't love flowers here? Raise your hand. I don't believe you. Everyone loves flowers. So, welcome to 4th International Women's Day. You can give yourself a hand that you're here. There you go. I just want to share about changing the world a little bit. Every month, we have a special cause event. In January, we had Human Trafficking Awareness event. We had our 4th annual Human Trafficking Awareness event, and it was truly transformative to our community. Our goal is, it's not just event. Our goal is that it will transform your heart, your mind, your soul, that you will walk away empowered and encouraged, and that's our goal for tonight. Last month, we had Mental Health Awareness event. It was our 4th annual. And tonight, because March, it's not only St. Patrick, we also, on March 8th, we celebrate International Women's Day. And the whole March is dedicated to women. And you're here, and we are, and in this March, and we are springing into spring. Who's excited about spring? Yeah. March, personally for me, was a little bit difficult. And have you heard that March is difficult for mental health because it's finish line of winter, and it's about to spring to start, and a lot of people are very vulnerable to negative self-talk, mental health. And I think it's so instrumental that we are here to lift each other, and we are rise by lifting each other. Can we say we rise by lifting each other? And we rise by lifting each other with words, with our thoughts, and with our prayers. We lift each other up. And I think as a community, we have a lot of wonderful women from different walks of life, from different countries. If you're like me from foreign country, can you raise your hand? Woohoo! Let's give a hand to our international women. Yay! So, Hyenas and Cape Cod become more and more diverse and beautiful community because of you, because you're part of this. So please make yourself comfortable. This event for you to enjoy, to have fun, to learn, to get inspired, and to be transformed. And also, please walk away with a new friend tonight, okay? Deal? And I have see some faces that just came. Dinner is provided after, so stick around with us. And last thing that I want to mention, our next event will be May 1st, National Day of Prayer at Village Green Hyenas. You're welcome to come. And then on May 30th, here, we will have an event on nutrition by Dr. Sid. We will talk about food mood, and he's the best Massachusetts expert on nutrition. So you're welcome to mark your calendar and come back again here. So thank you very much for being here. Help me to welcome a wonderful speaker of tonight, Catrina Welch.
Well, thank you, Ina and Andrew. We should give an applause for them for this awesome place. Well, thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. This is on? Close. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know me, I am I was a cosmetologist for over 30 years. I'm an image consultant. I like to call myself the image coach without this shopping obsession, because my message is not so much about what to wear as it is know who you are. And what I love to do is to help women to figure out their clothing personality and, you know, how to dress their best, find their authentic self and represent that well. But most of all, to understand their heart. And until you understand your heart, it's hard to represent yourself well because you don't even know yourself well. So that's more about what I have been doing for the past over 20 years with image coaching. And what I have found in all the years, cosmetology first, also being the leader of a women's ministry group, I've been around a lot of women. Nowadays, I spend a lot of time with men and money, but I'm my husband's bookkeeper now as well. But a lot, my heart, my greatest passion is helping women with their heart. And what I've noticed through the years is that the clothing personality lines up with the heart. So if you imagine with me, any species of animals, let's take dogs, because I'm not really a dog lover, but it's still something that I can relate to really well, and you might be able to too. If you saw a big Great Dane, you might treat that animal different than you would a pit bull or a golden retriever or a little New York, what was it, Yorkie? You know, each animal, yeah, they're a dog, but they're a different clothing personality. So that's how it is with women. It's like, you're all women, but you're so different from one another. And even within that group, within that species, every individual is different than all the others in their clothing personality. So to know how to dress, you got to know who you are, because first impressions are lasting impressions. When somebody first meets you, they're going to decide who you are. It's not about judging you. It's about saying, oh, she's a bouncy, fun girl, or oh, she's a serious woman. You know what I mean? It's if you dress in a way that you look like a serious woman, but you're not, then subconsciously people are going to not trust you. So that's kind of been more about what my life as an image coach has been, is helping you get to that place. But the thing that stands out most to me, and to be asked to speak today, is, you know what, this is international. This is like every woman. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with a lot of different women. I've never met one that didn't find beauty and confidence to be something very, very important in their lives. And pretty much every woman will go through a time in her life when that confidence is attacked. I call it a confidence conflict. And it might be something as simple as you messed up. You had a car accident, or you got pregnant, or, whatever. It might be something that you did wrong. It might be something that someone did to you. Maybe it was abuse. Maybe it was neglect. Maybe it was rejection. It could be a loss. But whenever these attacks come at us and it makes us feel like, I don't know who I am anymore, I don't know my place, I don't know my worth, that I call a beauty battle, because for women, it always goes back to their beauty. So we may feel like, I'm going to share my story with you today, but before I get too far into that, I just mostly want to point out that, every woman will face it in some way, right? That work? I point here, okay. But confident beauty, the basis of what I'm trying to say is it doesn't wear off like makeup does. I used to do makeovers. Joe, you do a lot of makeovers. When you've got somebody in your chair and you make them look beautiful, they walk out with a pep in their step and they feel so confident, and it's a rewarding career. But what happens when they go home and they try to blow dry their hair and they're not a professional, right? So this kind of confidence, it doesn't wear off like that. It doesn't depend on a professional to do it for her. A little closer. Okay, yes, and I'm going to also figure out how I'm doing this because my notes are not with me. Okay. I think I missed one, though. Thank you. Technology. Can't live without it. Can't live with it. Okay, well, first let me just show you. I'm not going to get into all the clothing personalities because I don't feel like that's what tonight is. I actually have a present for each of you before you leave that you can take an online quiz as a QR code on my business card, and a little gift for you for taking the quiz. But that will tell you which your clothing personality is. It's all about your facial features, your height, your physical stature, and then your personal preferences. And the quiz will kind of walk you through that, and it will end with a video on the different styles and all that. But I'm not going to get into all that tonight. If you take that quiz, you will be put into an email automation, which means I capture your email. So now and then you might get an email from me. Right away, you will get a few. And in there will be an offer to have a free consultation, a half-hour consultation. You book it yourself online, and you can tell me, what your clothing personality was, and if it doesn't feel right, we'll walk you through it and help you find the right identity. But that's not what tonight is about. A lot of times I do that. And a lot of times when people hear I'm speaking, that's what they expect. I call that a supreme makeover because it's not just a makeover. It's about knowing what the supreme stylist gave you for a clothing personality, an image identity. But the thing I want to point out with the different styles is that when a confidence conflict comes their way, they may respond like I did to mine, which I will share in a minute, with drama, with depression, with crazy highs and lows. Or they may respond like my mom would, and how I grew up and how I wanted to be, because it is my secondary personality, which is carefree and unconcerned and really casual, like no big deal. He's got the problem, not me. That's how some people will respond. That's how the natural will respond. Then there's the others. There's the bold fighter who she wants justice and she's going to fight for it. So, we're going to hear some stories from these women about how they responded. And maybe some of them were the fighters and they would, set you in your place for hurting them, kind of thing. Then there's some that they just accept all the blame as if they were the one at fault, and they might even start abusing themselves. A lot of women are hurting deeply, and they may just put all that on themselves. Then there's, I'm holding back from telling stories. I want to tell you stories. Then there's the classic who responds with intellect. You do something that upsets her and makes her wonder who she is, she's going to study. She's going to learn. She's going to figure it out. She's going to find answers and she's going to fix it. And then there's others that are just so emotional. They don't even know what to do anymore. And I like to use the orchid to represent the romantic, because when you see a orchid that drops its flowers, that's how some women respond. Like, it's not about me anymore. Like, I'm going to hide in a big sweatshirt right now, and you're not going to know who I am, but I'm going to take care of you, because let's put the focus on you, because I'm hurting too much to let you know who I am. So there's different responses we have to these things that come against us. But the secret to getting over it is not to compare yourself. See, I had a really hard time getting over it, because I was not even just comparing myself to other people as I stood in the mirror taking care of someone else, making her beautiful. My heart was hurting so badly because my husband had left me. The husband that I loved dearly and was so excited to be having his baby. And now he's gone and he's with other women. And I've got to take care of a client in my chair and make her feel beautiful, when all I can see is my own reflection coming back at me and saying, yeah, but you're a throwaway wife. And you know how it is when you're pregnant and you know, some women get that. All right, I saw an adorable pregnant woman here tonight. Isn't it so true when you see a pregnant woman, you tell her how adorable she is? Because isn't it? It's like, oh, you just want to hug her. It's like such a special season in life. Well, for me, with my first pregnancy, I was a throwaway wife, and everyone knew it. My husband left me when I was only 10 days after I found out I was pregnant. And the more I grew and the more obvious it was he wasn't coming back, the more people told me, oh, you're so beautiful. You're glowing. You're awesome. They just wanted to help me, and they cared. But instead of hearing their affirmations over and over and over and over and over and over, I told myself, don't listen to them. The truth is, you're a throwaway wife. So I wasn't just comparing myself to those women in my chair, who now looked cute. I was also comparing myself to my mom, who was so strong, even though she'd been abused all her life. I compared myself to myself, my other side of me that wanted to make this no big deal. I had two parts of me, like, I can't even live. I didn't want to keep going. If I weren't pregnant, I might have given in to some of the pressures I was putting on myself. But I also had this other side of me that was like, this is not a big deal. I can make it. I'll make it on my own, you know? So how do you respond when things like this come your way? The secret is, don't give it a lot of time. As my husband would say, my new husband, my awesome husband, who I've been married to almost 30 years now. I always forget to tell you, I do have another guy. And we've had, we have 4 kids and raising our granddaughter now. So, but as Ron would say, don't give that thing that much time in your head. He doesn't deserve it. So think about that the next time somebody insults you or talks about you behind your back or cuts you off on the highway and acts like you're the one that at fault, or whatever it is that triggers you to make you feel so much, I don't know, self-resentment, whatever, shame, guilt, whatever it is that triggers in you. Don't give that thing that much time. Don't allow it in your headspace. But at the same time, there are things that you go through in life that cause you to be a new person, right? Like for me with my divorce, that battle was so hard for me. It changed my entire career because I went from a woman afraid of looking beautiful to striving to be beautiful to try to prove my husband wrong. Like, try to make him the fool. I look better than them. Why would you leave me? You know, I went through that. But in the end, I found beauty and balance. And that's what I wrote Confident Beauty about. Finding beauty and balance was such a hard thing for me to find. But when we have a trouble learning something, that's usually the thing we should teach. So we can look back at it now and then, like the rearview mirror. But if we're only looking in our rearview mirror, if we stay dwelling on that past, then we're going to crash. We got to take our eyes off that rearview mirror and keep going. All right, I'm going to, yeah. All right. It's like this. First of all, I'm feeling kind of cold. Are you cold? Is it cold in here? You have my jacket? Oh.
No, you don't want that one. He is look at that one. No, you don't want that one. No, you want this one. No. Look at this one. This is what she wants. Yeah.
He was going to yell at me. I got it first. I kind of missed what I was going to do, so I'm trying to recreate what I wanted to do, so bear with me. When somebody comes to you and says something insulting, or your husband leaves you and you hear something insulting, or I don't know, the other day I missed an appointment and it took me 2 days to get over it. My self-talk was, I can't believe I forgot that. What a loser I am. I forgot. I can't believe it. Like, whatever the attack that is coming at you, why do you put it on? Because somebody's pushy? Because somebody rude? Joanne's my best friend. I can tease her. But we do. We get offered a new identity because of a mistake of our own or someone else's. And how we take it back off because I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear this shame anymore. What happens is we accept somebody else's identity on us or their opinion on us. For me, I was stuck there for a while. But when I finally found my way out, it was through my faith. For most Christian women, Proverbs 31 tells a story about someone we all want to be like. Whether you're Christian or not, you want to be like this woman. She's amazing. So in verse 25, it says that she is strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. And she smiles at the future, knowing that she and her family, because she takes care of them, are prepared. She put on her strength and dignity. I put on my husband's shame, and I wore it for a while. Insecurity is like a tide. if you let it pull you out into the ocean, you're going to have a really hard time getting back. You're going to need help. The secret that I found in my challenge, I can remember. I remember I was doing a lot of seminars back then and going to church and just a lot of like, help me, help me, help me. And I remember I would sit in those seminars and I would realize that my face was in a tight frown. And I would just like have to massage it out. I couldn't make myself smile. It was like a drain. You know how the drain just keeps going faster and faster? It was like once that got started, I couldn't pull myself out of it. But I found the time to really seek answers. And I call it now my cocoon time. And that's what I call times like this, or little retreats that we do or whatever, cocoon time, because you go in there feeling like this worm in the dust, right? You got nothing to do with your life except for eat leaves and live in the dirt, right? And then some tragedy comes and you just tuck away. And you got to do that because you can't really fight the battle until you take the time to figure out, to reconstruct. You know, when a caterpillar is in that cocoon, it turns to liquid. It's kind of a gross thought. And then it breaks out as a beautiful butterfly. And that's why I use that logo on everything. It's like, to me, that transformation, that's what I want to help other women do. That's what I want to keep doing as each battle comes my way. I want to break free from it. I want to find my answers and break free and let it be a testimony. Let it be something beautiful that other people, what do you do when you see a butterfly? You're like, oh, a butterfly. Doesn't it just like, oh, like when you see a pregnant woman? One of the scriptures that helped me so much was Isaiah 30, verse 15. And it says, "This is what the sovereign Lord, the Holy One of Israel, says. Only in returning to me and resting in me will you be saved. In quietness and confidence is your strength." The secret for me was to act. See, I had to repent where I had to repent. I had to forgive where I had to forgive. I had to step out in faith where I had to step out. I couldn't just wear the shame and stay in that. I had to do something to take it off. And then I had to accept the jacket that was actually mine. A little bling, a little class, fits me right. Yeah. Dress it up, a power jacket. That's my identity. But we have to submit to it and put it on. You have an identity that you need to submit to, that you need to be who you were designed to be. So, confident beauty is not just about what to wear. It's about learning your style and dressing who you really are, and then actually walking in that. So we're going to hear some different stories from some of these panelists. And one thing I want you all to remember, I'm sure it's something you want to do, is when you're going through something, to don't allow yourself to compare. So we're going to tell a few more stories about, Silvania's going to come up. She's going to tell about her divorce. Divorce is like the two were made to be one. And when they break up, you feel like half a person. It's your identity is ripped apart. There is nothing good about divorce. But she didn't respond the same way I did. And you maybe don't respond the same way either of us did to whatever conflict you have, whatever the other stories that come. But maybe Silvania could tell her story real quick. Silvania is a hairdresser in Hyannis. She owns a beautiful spa, Echo Spa. She's my stylist.
Is this okay? Hi, everyone. My name is Silvania. I have 2 wonderful sons and 2 stepsons, and I have a wonderful husband. And when Catrina in my chair, she said, "Oh, wow, you should go talk about the divorce." I was like, First of all, I'm not very good to speaking for people. I'm so shy. But I say, maybe I have something good to share, okay? First of all, God created the divorce because He don't want we to be suffer. Okay, but if you tell me, "Oh yes, the divorce is good for you," no. As a divorced lady, this is not the best thing to do. But sometimes we have to. We have no choice. Get your beautiful jacket on. Go take good care of yourself, and you're gonna be fine. But one thing that got me very strong when I divorced. It's a long story, but I'm going to make a little short, okay? So I was in 2016. I divorced, and I had this guy that I married for my whole entire life. My first boyfriend, my first man, and it was a very abusive marriage. I couldn't even know. I was like, is this normal? And then I started to figure out this is not normal. I have been abused for so many years. So anyways, we walk out to divorce. And of course, he was smarter than me. And he was like, I left the house and I go find another place to be peaceful. But I remember the second night I got divorced. I was in an old house all by myself. And I put my foot up on a couch, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I laughed so loud, like, that's so nice to be like so peaceful. Look at me, I'm happy. So, but it was not easy. As a single mother, I have to figure out how I can pay my rent, buy food for my kids, taking care of myself, taking care of my 2 kids, and being strong. I don't want my kids think I was a loser, okay? And one day, who's divorced? When you divorce, you have a court order, and you have the judge go, and the judge say, "Oh, yeah, the kids stay week with you, week with that," and no, that's the way they do. Of course, I wanted my kids just for myself, but it wasn't not happen. So, and one day I went in my house to go pick up my kids, and my oldest son. They took so long to come to my car, and I was on the door waiting for them. And my oldest son come to my car with my little one and say, "Mom, you guess what? I'm so afraid to go with you." I say, "Why?" "Because my daddy told you're going to be homeless. And I don't want to be homeless with you." I was like, "Are you kidding me? No, we're not going to be homeless. I promise you. Get in a car. It's going to get us something good to eat. And let's going to be happy." And you guess what? In 8 months, I bought a house. I work so hard, and I have such a wonderful people in my house that help me. In less than 1 year, I had my own house. I was so happy. And one thing I want to say to you, we are so powerful. You are strong. You can do anything that you design a tool. Okay? We are very smart. God made us the way we can figure out so many things. We're the only get a woman, ask us, go cook, go clean the house, go answer the phone. We do. My poor husband, and I loved him to death. If I would say, "Honey, can you turn can you watch my grill?" And he gets so panicked because can you imagine how powerful you are? Right? So we are very strong. My message for you today, love God. Take a good care of yourself. Don't get the old jacket. Get the new one, beautiful one, because that's why God have to you. Amen?
Silvania is from Brazil. Brazil. What? An Echo Salon, Echo Spa, right on Main Street, Hyannis. It's beautiful. Jenia is going to come up and she's going to share a story about her life. She is a Ukrainian.
This is already something, right? Before my name, I'm Ukrainian, but no, not before my name. My name is Jenia da Silva, and I was born and grew up in Kiev, Ukraine. I live in Sandwich, right now, Massachusetts, and I have a beautiful family, 2 little boys, 7 and 5. My son turned 5 just last Monday. We just celebrated his 5th birthday, and I'm happy to be here. And this is the second time I get to speak at this event, and it's really marvelous that you guys continue asking me to come, and I am very honored. And you know what I wanted to share today is that when Ina initially asked me to participate, she told me that we are going to be talking about confident beauty this year. And she got me thinking about what I have to share and what I get to say. It's definitely a lot, but I tried to sort it out here and deliver to you, and hopefully it's going to resonate with you as well. Then I met with Catrina, and she guided me through how this is going to go, and she was the second one who got me thinking. So I had 2 words to think about: confident and beauty. And beauty was the first one, and I have been running around these couple of weeks around the Cape thinking what it is for me and what happened to me when I lost confidence one day in my beauty. And what I want to start with is that I started breaking down this for myself, and I decided that beauty is actually something that requires treatment, right? I do not know if it's like a right word. I keep trying. English is my second language still. Beauty, it's something that requires attention. Something that requires work. This is nothing that can be given to us, and I felt it in my own body and my inner soul many times. And this is something that is not given for granted, and I thought what I wanted to share today is that we are creators of our own beauty, whether it is inner beauty or whether it's your physical appearance. They both correlate, but nobody can embed that to you, that beauty, but just yourself. And this is something that is not easy to carry also. And today I wanted to talk about beauty of women, our beauty, right? Feminine beauty. And when I lost confidence in my beauty recently, it was when I took on myself more than I could handle. And we are not feminine anymore when we become horses or camels or whoever we call those animals. We cannot be beautiful any longer. And you know, I'm not talking about my work. and I'm not only talking about my family. For some reason, we get up in the morning and there is something every single day that is happening. Somebody is going to call, somebody is going to text, and you're trying to give attention to A, B, C, D, E. There are teachers, there are lunches, there are friends, there is job, right? That we spend most our lives in, and it's all. And I started realizing that I am losing confidence in my beauty because I am just overwhelming myself. It's just so easy as this, right? I was supposed to come up here and talk about something extraordinary, but it is actually as easy as this, right? We overload ourselves, and then we cannot be light. We are women, right? We have to walk lightly, right? We cannot be doing the hardest work ever. For some reason, the world is changing, and it turned out like it is okay. But in my situation, if we do not remember that our beauty is within us, and if we kill it with daily tasks and forgetting about that balance that Catrina talked today, this is it. This is basically, this is going to appear in your face, in what you are saying, and what you are doing, and how you are walking, and how you are dressing up, and so on and so on. So this is something that I've been thinking in the last couple years, and I switched my life around me because I did not want that feminine beauty of me to disappear somewhere behind school lunches, school buses, drop-offs, pickups, meeting with clients, work and job and everything and so on. So last year, on January 1st, I woke up and it was a year when I turned 40. So I turned 40 on November 26th, and that 2024 was a year of my big date, right? So, and I said, this is it. 40, this is it. I've been fat, I've been ugly, I forgot about myself, I lost my confidence, I do not have desire to do anything. And I got up, I started working with some experts, some nutritionists, and I lost 41 pounds. And I decided that I want to look great. I did some makeovers. I tried to take care of myself more than I used to. And every time I feel that heaviness on my shoulders, I go back and straighten my back up, and I say, I'm a woman. I have to walk lightly. And I said that to everybody who is around me, my closest friends, my closest family. And do not get me wrong, you know, like I did not forget about my duties and my responsibilities. I still do it. You have to realize also that besides my family that I have here, I have family in Ukraine and France, and now it's terrible times for us. So alongside everything that I have to do here for my little children, I have to do a lot for my family and friends over there. It's a lot. And the last couple of years have been really, really, really difficult. And I still do it. Guys, I still do lunches. I still do school bus. I still meet with the clients, but I still do all of it, but I just stood up for myself. That's basically what I did. Just in front of myself, for me, because I did not want to be a horse anymore. I'm a woman in the end of the day, right? And what I learned recently, like the last thing that I wanted to say is that, you know, when you are meeting strong person, strong personality, who can do everything, like turn mountains upside down, like do the horse work and field work and all of that. And sometimes you get exhausted and you sit down with your friend and having a cup of coffee finally, and they're telling you, hey, listen, you're so strong, you can do it. And you're talking about something that is happening in the world that is really devastating you, that is wrong and not good. And they would tell you, but come on, you can do it. You are strong, you can do. What I learned after having this type of feedback is that do not ever tell a strong person you can do it. They know that they can do it. What you need to do, you have to get their hand and take them for a walk. Give them a latte. I mean, like, give them a hug in the end of the day. Ice cream, I don't know. Like, why do you have to call a horse? Like, you serious? Sorry, I did not mean to be too funny, but this is what I've been thinking. This is the challenge that Ina and Catrina gave me these days, and I wanted to deliver that strong people are vulnerable. They need hugs more than anybody else. We cannot continue telling strong people who do 1,600 things every day that you can do it. I hate that phrase. This thing, like, I can do it, it's in my hand. I can't stand that. So this is my take on the relationship between confidence and beauty in my language. And I hope that you enjoyed it and it resonated with you just the same way like it does with me. Thank you very much.
Wow, good stuff. Love getting to know people. All right, well, I'm going to bring up one more friend. She is from Thailand, and her name is Tina. I can't wait to hear what Tina has to share.
Yeah, I'm from Thailand. I need to bring all this thing because just in case I forget. I'm 68 years old and I forget a lot of things. So anyway, I was born and raised in Buddhism in Thailand. My family, we have 9 children. My mom and dad have 9 children. I'm right in the middle. And we're rice farmer. So we hardworking family. But we press on, we take care of each other, we work hard, we know all that, But at the age of 17, I fell in love. And I know everything. When you're 17, you know everything. So I got married to an American soldier, and I came to the United States. After waiting 2 years for visa process to get through, I finally got to come to the United States when I was 19 years old. That's way back in 1976. So I'm old. Anyway, but I'm mature. Yeah. But my first husband, he found somebody else when I was, anyway, after 12-year marriage, we ended. He wanted to move on for somebody else. So I end up with 2 beautiful children, a mortgage, 2 car payments, a dog and a cat, to take care of. But shortly after a while, I met my now husband, Mike. And as you can imagine, when you got left with all this responsibility and children to take care of, I was in hurt, I was in pain, regret, everything, you name it, and far away from family. There's just no way that I can redo that, But when I met Mike, he was like a medicine to my pain, and he was a medication to my wound, and he helped me to raise my 2 children. Anyway, 2 years after we got married, he's in the Air Force, another thing. So we end up in the country, the Netherlands. We after 2 years, we been together. We sat on the side of our bed, and we asked Jesus into our heart. And from that point on, life have never been the same. So I know that it's not me, that strong woman, that I could do all those things. But the power that God gave me is what kept me going. And Jesus gave us the Holy Spirit to live inside us, to press on all the responsibility that God put in front of us is there for us to do. So we press on, and the strength and the ability and the knowledge come from Him and from the Holy Spirit who Jesus put in me, so I can live on to the next day. The confidence that I have is not for me. At the beginning, I thought, hey, I'm pretty good at this, But really, after I got saved, I discovered that the confidence I have in me, it wasn't from me. I didn't do it myself. It was God guiding me along the path for where He wanted me to be until today. And I meet you today, I see you today. It's not an incident, it's not an accident. God have ordained this long before. So, and I thank you, and I thank Jesus for bringing me here. Thank you.
Oh, good night. See, the desire and the need for confidence and for beauty are universal. Yeah. Well, I just want to close with a couple thoughts on an age-old prayer that was first put in a Hallmark card for graduation back in, I think it was 1962 or something. But now you probably have heard it more having to do with AA or NA. But it's kind of cool when you think of it as it was for graduates. And guess what? It's for women needing confidence. So you've heard it before, I'm sure. It says, God help us, or God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So whether it's our past, our parents, our body, our style, other people's opinions, our circumstances, our thoughts, our mistakes, whatever it is that we cannot change, God grant us the serenity to accept that. And God give us the courage to change the things we can. We want to change our circumstances, but all we know we can only do by changing our attitude, our actions, our habits, our thoughts. Mindfulness is a pretty popular topic nowadays, but it's still a constant struggle. Joyce Myers talks about the battlefields in the mind. It's a constant struggle. Whatever it is, somebody cut us off in the car, right? The littlest thing. Somebody bumps into us in a hallway. Anything can trigger this conflict that we're talking about. It all goes back to the mind, and we must fight. We must take control. We must take our thoughts captive. We have to be disciplined to do that. But the wisdom that we really need is knowing the difference of what we can or cannot change. And some of those things, like think about the saying, It's mind over matter. And if you don't mind, it don't matter. But how about acceptance with joy? You know, there's some things that, you know what? It is what it is. And we're going to love anyway. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to love each other. We're going to act in our calling. We're going to be who we were designed to be. How about this one? The difference between conviction or condemnation. Sometimes we feel that what we might call guilt, but usually it's actually either conviction, because we actually did something wrong, and we got to confess it, say sorry, or else it does dwell there and become guilt. And guilt is so overwhelming. Condemnation, that's what a lot of people do to each other. But that's not something we want. So, guilt or shame? Do we want this? Do we want conviction or condemnation? No, we want to just act. Well, conviction, yeah, we do want conviction because if we're doing something wrong, we want it. We want to know. We want to have that feeling. But the difference is acting on it. So the wisdom to know the difference is sometimes just the wisdom to actually put on your jacket, right? Or take off the other one. So remember this. Only in returning to me and resting in me will you be saved. In quietness and confidence is your strength. You don't need to explain what happened unless you're just giving a glimpse so that it's a rearview mirror. You don't need to complain about what's happened or happening. You just need to take off the old jacket and put on the new one. And then live it, speak it, enjoy it, and soar with confident beauty. So in closing, would you just, let's all say this prayer together? That'd be all right? Okay. So God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. So I have a present for you. I have books in the back, and I'd love to get to know you more. And we got some dinner coming out, so you want to?
Can we give a hand to our wonderful panelists as well? I love how balanced they were. All Ukrainians are strong. And I love the Jenia, and I love Tina and Serene. I keep Silvania. I'm so sorry, Silvania. All their stories are so balanced, and they just come. I took beautiful things from each of them. I just want to speak about a couple of books here. This book is wonderful for children. You know how our wonderful children, teenagers struggle with identity. And I think it's a very good book to take home. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I think you got it. Okay. So please, that's one book. It's incredible. And then we have the book, one more. This one has Confident Beauty book, and it's about Catrina's story. It's very inspirational and wonderful beach book or a girlfriend gift book. And up front there is Know Who You Are with a quiz inside, right? There's a quiz that you can do with your friend and find out your unique style. And then this one is devotional. Who likes devotionals here? I love devotionals. This one is devotional book. So please, after we are finished and we're about to wrap up, help yourself and with the book in terms of you can purchase it. There's a code. And you also can leave your information if you would like to be in touch with Catrina. She does events like that. And if you'd like to be at the event like this next time, also leave your information with us. Our next event is on May 30. It will be all about nutrition and health. And May 1st, which is first Thursday of May, at 5:30 p.m. at Village Green Hyenas Main Street, we will have our whole community, our community leaders, religious leaders, business leaders, all of us will come together as one. It's a unity day. It's called National Day of Prayer. It happens across the whole United States. So you're welcome to come to that.
Thank you, everyone. We can talk more as we mingle. But is there any other quick questions?
Quick questions.
You'll have lots of questions after you take the quiz. It's so much fun. You got to do it for me. So I'll come around and hand out my little present. How's that?
Let's give a hand to Catrina. Thank you so much, Catrina. This one? Yes. Can you speak in the microphone because we are recorded?
My question, first it's a statement. I have an 8-year-old granddaughter, and I'm wondering what's the age of that book? What's age appropriate?
Yeah, it's really like for a 3 to 8-year-old, but it's actually designed to be read to by an older kid because it's the older kids that Heidi's got something to share about it. I'm curious.
Full disclosure, Trina is my cousin, and I got the book before it went published. However, I read the book and I learned from it. So I don't think you have to be a child to get the message from this book.
Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, this was actually, so what happened, this is such a fun story how this book came about, but I basically just wanted to illustrate the different styles. So I sent pictures to an illustrator, a Disney artist, and he put this all together for me, but it's written in a way that it's the questions that we have. I see that we've got them our whole lives, but they started when we were little. So that's why I wanted to address it to the little kids. But I also wanted it to be something that like an older kid book buddy kind of thing would read to them. So they would also get a lot from it as they read it. Because it's mostly about like Katie sees this about that style girl. She's got beautiful hair. She's got great talent. She's got this. He's got that. I wish I had that. I wish I were this. I wish I were that. And then in the end, it's like, well, they all stop doing that because that's what we do when we find a wound against who we are. We stop doing it. Well, I'm, Bea and I forget who the other gamine was. They stopped leading and laughing because people didn't take them seriously, or they felt an attack on who they were, so they stopped. So in the end, Katie gets up and says, "Wait a minute, let me read you. Let me read you the whole thing." I actually just got to read it at my granddaughter's a kindergartner, and I just got to read it in her class. It was so fun. Katie is sad. She isn't like the boys and girls she knows. I won't read the whole thing. And then it's all the different, look at them all lined up. Short, tall, heavy, thin. And they've all got their gifts. Jane's got beautiful hair. Ben, who was Ben Haskell, I used his picture because he's a classic. You wanna? Tori, oh, yeah, perfect. Katie wishes she had talent like my daughter, Tori. She wishes she were more, what is it? People notice Billy too, but he doesn't always notice them. He's too busy playing. Katie likes playing with her friends, but she would rather be alone. And then there's Annika, my niece, who's great at dancing and so petite and beautiful. And then there's Sam Buck. I used his picture. He's a guitarist, so she wishes she had freckles like him and played the guitar. And then there's Kate, there's Heather, who loves tea parties, and she wishes she had long lashes like the romantic has. And then there's Andrew, and he has long lashes too, and he cares about other people. This is my son, Andrew. But in the end, when they're hurting, they don't care about other people anymore. This is Bea. She's helpful and strong and fun. In the end, she won't be. And there's Asa. He has a cute little turned up nose like the gammine. And he's fun and brave, and he isn't afraid to use his words. And then there's Colby. And he is a confident kid. And Colby doesn't use many words either. People like to be with him, but he doesn't care what other people think. He just likes sports. Katie likes sports too. Katie is strong and tall like Colby, but she is not a boy. Katie wishes she was a boy. Katie was upset. And then my friends are all great at something. I'm not good at anything. She does the whole beauty battle. And then she has a dream. And all her friends don't do what they were supposed to be. They're no longer who they're supposed to be. And then Colby wakes up, and in the dream, Colby says, he calmly watched and listened, and then he stood up and used his words. You guys are no fun when you're trying to be someone you're not. If you're not like yourself, why should I like you? I want friends that look different and act different. And I think you're each pretty and strong in your own way. Then Katie finds confidence. So it's a message we all need, so all ages. Long answer for a short question.
Thank you so much for being here tonight.
I smell food.
Please make sure you stick around, stay, meet a new friend, and make sure that you have some good food. And so thankful that you're here. So wonderful. What a wonderful night. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you.